Mizuno JPX 900 versus the JPX 919. Is it actually worth the upgrade? It's literally one of the most fiercely debated matchups for golfers hunting for premium used irons. I mean, one brought chromoly to the masses, and the other refined it. Right, but here's the real question we're answering in this explainer. Does that extra refinement actually translate to lower scores for the everyday weekend golfer? Or are you just opening your wallet for a slightly cleaner badge and wasting your hard-earned money? Today, we are putting them head-to-head, based on the data to find out exactly which set belongs in your bag.
Welcome back to Golf Gear Showdown, the explainer where we put golf gear head-to-head based on the data so you can stop guessing and start making smarter buying decisions. I'm Jake, your resident 15 handicapper, and with me is our specs guy, Mike.
Okay, let's dive right in. According to the used market data we analyzed, for most American golfers scrolling through eBay or Second Swing right now, the price gap between these two iron sets sits right around that $150 to $250 mark.
Which, let's be honest, is exactly enough cash for a brand new wedge, or it covers your greens fees for a couple of weeks.
Exactly. It's a very real shop scenario. The common confusion here is whether the 919 actually fixed something that was broken in the 900, or if it's just a cosmetic facelift. Because if you choose wrong here, you're either leaving serious performance on the table or you're just burning money you could have spent elsewhere.
To settle this, we are running these irons through 6 brutal rounds. We'll look at distance, forgiveness, accuracy, feel, price, and finally, the specific golfer fit.
All right, matchup, setup, and criteria. Let's get this battle started.
Moving right into the distance and forgiveness rounds. Let's get into the raw performance. And you're gonna want to stick around through these early categories because there is a massive surprise coming up later that completely flips how most people view these two clubs. But first, the core tech. Mizuno is legendary for their feel, but they're also masters of making these quiet, incremental improvements.
For sure.
Looking at the distance and performance tech we pulled from the source material, the JPX 900 was a huge departure from older models. It pioneered Mizuno's use of chromoly 4140M in the hot metal version, which let them build a much thinner, hotter face. And the 919 hot metal kept that exact same material, but they managed to thin out the face even further in some really specific areas.
Hold on, I gotta challenge that based on the launch monitor data from our sources, Mike.
Sure, on paper, the 919 might show a tiny edge in ball speed consistency, but out on the actual course, the data shows the raw distance between a well-struck 7-iron with the 900 versus the 919 is practically negligible for the average mid-handicapper.
Okay, fair. Faster swing speed players might notice the 919 holding its spin slightly better in the tests.
But yeah, I agree, for the everyday golfer, the gap is tiny. Exactly. We aren't splitting hairs here just to give out points. If you were buying an iron purely to hit it further, the source material proves the 919 just doesn't give you a noticeable advantage over the 900. So for round 1, distance, I'm calling it a dead tie.
Fair enough, a tie it is. Let's move to round 2 and see how this builds, because this is where the matchup gets genuinely interesting. Forgiveness and ease of use. Right, so notice the design of the JPX 919 stability frame. Mizuno essentially opened up the heel portion of the frame and pushed way more weight out to the perimeter. And based on design intent, for a player who occasionally catches it off the toe on a Sunday morning, that perimeter weighting absolutely matters. Based on that structural design intent, the stability frame is just objectively better on off-center hits. Now, the 900 is definitely not hard to hit by any means, but common feedback suggests the 919 just feels a bit more point and shoot, especially when you get into those longer irons. It does a much better job of keeping your ball speeds up when you inevitably miss the sweet spot.
So we have a clear winner for round 2?
Absolutely. Round 2 winner is the JPX 919. It really helps on those mishits. But seriously, don't count the 900 out yet. What we reveal in the upcoming accuracy and feel rounds is something most golfers completely overlook.
All right, on to the accuracy and feel rounds.
Let's break down round 3, accuracy and control. You know, accuracy isn't just about what the club face does at impact. It is heavily dictated by how the ball actually reacts to the turf. If you aren't getting through the grass cleanly, your accuracy falls apart instantly. Mizuno actually tweaked the sole design on the 919. They refined the leading edge to help the club glide through the grass way more efficiently.
And that matters a lot. Out in the real world, hitting from light North American rough, user reports indicate that tweaked leading edge means fewer of those fat, chunked shots that just end up dying in the front bunker. Both clubs give you great dispersion, but the 919 definitely handles the turf better.
Completely agree. The 919 is more consistent across a variety of lies according to the testing data. So round 3 winner for those small but vital refinements in the sole goes to the JPX 919.
Moving right along to round 4, feel and confidence.
Now this is where Mizuno purists really need to pay close attention, because this category alone could change your entire buying decision.
And the internal sound ribs brilliantly illustrate why. Mizuno engineers basically packed the 1919 with these internal sound ribs. They focused really heavily on vibration management, basically tuning the exact frequency of the club at impact.
Yeah, they have that famous slogan for a reason. While the JPX 900 Hot Metal performed incredibly well in tests, a lot of golfers found it sounded a bit clicky, or, kind of metallic. It didn't quite have that classic Mizuno sensation.
Right, whereas the 1919, because of those sound ribs, is reported to feel significantly softer and way more solid.
Exactly. Reviewers note it sounds way less like a hollow metal wood and more like a proper iron. And hey, there's a massive psychological side to golf. When a club sounds better, you swing it with more confidence. So, round 4 winner is the JPX 919. But wait, do not close this explainer, because the budget round is up next, and we're looking at a smart shopper move that could save you a ton of cash.
Let's get into round 5, price and golfer fit.
Before you confidently declare the 919 the overall winner, we have got to talk about your wallet. We're analyzing the used market here, and price dictates everything. The JPX 900 has reached a point in its life cycle where it is just a legitimate steal. The 919s, on the other hand, still command a premium simply because they visually look very similar to the newer JPX 921 and 923 lines. So you really have to ask yourself a hard question based on this data. Is a slightly better sound and a little bit more stability actually worth an extra $200 to you?
Honestly, for most weekend players, probably not. You could buy the 900s, use the savings to get them professionally regripped, and literally still have money left over for a lesson.
So the absolutely crucial point here is performance per dollar. And in that specific metric, our sources confirm the JPX 900 is one of the best values in golf right now. Round 5 winner goes to the JPX 900.
Let's break down round 6, golfer fit. Who should actually be buying which club? Let's rapid fire this. Beginners, take the JPX 900. You're getting 90% of the tech for a much lower price. Value hunters, same answer. Grab the 900. It outperforms any 10-year-old box set you have sitting out in the garage. Okay, what about the mid-handicappers? Mid-handicappers should aim for the JPX 919. That extra forgiveness from the stability frame will legitimately help your scorecard. And if you're a field player who hates a clicky sound at impact, you have to go straight to the 919. Speaking of buying, we are about to reveal the single biggest mistake golfers make when shopping for these exact models. It's an insider trap that catches so many people off guard. You're going to look at this and think, man, I almost did that.
Let's talk about the biggest buying mistake. Please don't fall for this.
If you are browsing eBay, Second Swing, or your local pro shop's used rack right now, you need to hear this warning loud and clear. The absolute biggest mistake you can make is ignoring the specific submodel. Both the 900 and 919 lines have a Tour, a Forged, and a Hot Metal version. A very common error we see is a 20 handicap golfer buying a JPX 900 Tour just because it has the Mizuno name on it and it's priced cheap.
Oh yeah, those Tour models are unforgiving blades. If you buy those as a high handicapper, player feedback shows you are going to be absolutely miserable out there.
Exactly. Always make sure you are comparing Hot Metal to Hot Metal or Forged to Forged. And here's a quick bonus tip based on gear fitters. Do not automatically assume the 919 is better just because it's newer. If you find a 900 set that has the correct shafts for your specific swing speed, and the 919 set doesn't, that 900 will perform better for you every single day of the week.
All right, it's time for the final verdict. Let's crown some winners.
Let's give you the fast, honest pros and cons based on everything we've covered today. Zero brand protection here. I'll summarize the JPX 900. Pros: incredible elite value. It introduced that fast chromoly tech, it's super durable, and it looks great in the bag. Cons: it can sound a bit clicky. The badge design on the back is kind of busy, and the data shows it's slightly less stable on mishits compared to the newer model. And for the JPX 919, pros: that stability frame adds real, noticeable forgiveness. The sound and feel are significantly better, and it has a much cleaner, modern aesthetic. Cons: you're paying a higher price on the used market, and the raw distance gains over the 900 are basically non-existent for the average player.
So, here is how the final hardware gets handed out. For best overall performer, the crown goes to the JPX 919. It simply took everything great about the 900 and fixed the minor complaints about sound and stability. But for best value, the winner is hands down the JPX 900. Getting 95% of the performance for 60% of the price is a total no-brainer for budget buyers. And for the mid-handicap champion, the JPX 919 Hot Metal takes it. It's the perfect balance of ball speed and get-out-of-jail-free forgiveness.
If you plan on keeping your irons for the next 5 years, the extra investment in the 919 is completely justified for that refined experience. So, which side of the battle are you taking? Are you grabbing the elite value of the 900s, or are you paying up for the refined feel and stability of the 919s? Drop your handicap and your pick in the comments down below. We read every single one, and we love seeing what the community is actually gaming. And hey, if this explainer helped you stop guessing and start making smarter decisions based on the data, hit that subscribe button. We have another massive gear showdown coming up next week, comparing 2 of the most popular drivers on the used market, and you definitely won't want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in to Golf Gear Showdown, and we will see you in the next one.